Welcome to weekly ECG exercise case 4. I am going to continue with our last week's case 3 because some of you have requested me personally to discuss the concept of STT changes, and I am very happy that you could communicate with me, and I will definitely clear this concept of STT segment. So if you remember, this was our last week's case, a 63-year-old male who presented with retrosternal burning and sweating for almost 1 hour duration, and he had GI symptoms. All other parameters were normal. Just quickly brush up on his ECG findings. So when we looked at his ECG, we had STT changes. He had sinus bradycardia with heart rate of 48 per minute. We also learned a concept of AVL, that it could be an earliest or the only sign in patients of inferior wall MI, and based on that we figured out that our patient also had early inferior wall MI, rightly picked up because of concept of AVL, and we came to the conclusion of inferior wall MI with right ventricular infarct and sinus bradycardia based on other findings. Now, since STT changes is a very important concept and there is a confusion about ST depression versus T wave inversion when we talk combined STT changes. Pure T wave inversions or pure ST depressions may be easy to pick up on the ECG, but as some of you have rightly suggested to clear this concept, today we will learn about STT changes, specifically distinguishing between ST depressions and T wave inversions. So let us first talk about ST segment. This is easy because we have been learning this for past couple of videos, and we know whether it is ST elevation or ST depression, you always compare ST with TP segment. So when we are talking about ST depression, here we will compare it with TP segment in our patient's ECG. Now if you look at here, we have STT changes in 1, AVL, V2, V3, V4, V5. Let's see one by one. So if we take lead V2 and compare with TP segment, there is a small ST depression of say around half a millimeter. If you look at lead AVL, although it looks significant ST depression here, there is no ST depression. When you compare with the TP segment, there is no ST depression. Now when we look at V4, V5, V6, when we draw a TP segment through and through, you can see there is a significant ST depression of at least 2 to 3 millimeters in V4, V5, V6. So here, as far as the ST segment is concerned, lead AVL does not have ST depression, whereas V2, V4, V5, V6, all these 4 leads do have ST depression. Now let's talk about T wave inversion, especially when it is along with STT changes. For ST segment, we had to compare with TP segment, but for T wave inversions, you compare with other T waves in line. So what do you mean by inline T waves? For that, you compare T waves in sets. For example, lead 1, 2, 3 is one set, AVR, AVL, AVF is one set, V1, V2, V3 is another set, and V4, V5, V6 is another set. So let's compare our T wave inversions in first set, that is lead 1, 2, 3. Here you can see that T waves are upright in lead 2 and lead 3, but there is STT in lead 1. So let's see whether there is a T wave inversion here. For that, we will draw a line from peak of the T wave. Say we start from lead 3, and if we draw the line, there is definite T wave inversion in lead 1. Let's see in our next set of AVR, AVL, AVF. Now, lead AVR shows T wave inversion, which is normal. Normally, you will have T inversions in AVR, and lead V1. Of course, in lead V1, you can have T inversion or upright T, but in both cases, you may have a normal T wave. So if you look at lead AVL here, and you want to figure out whether there is a T wave inversion, let's draw a line from AVR T inversion peak. And if I draw a line, there is a definite T wave inversion in AVL. Now let us look at next set, lead V1, V2, V3. As I said before, lead V1 may have a normal T wave inversion. We cannot consider that as T wave inverted. But if you look at lead V2, there is definite STT changes. So we will figure out whether there is a T wave inversion or no. So now if you draw a line from V1 to V2 to V3, let's see whether we have T wave inversion. There is a doubtful T wave subtle inversion in lead V2, but most of the T is upright here. But the previous part of the T wave looks inverted. So in such cases, draw a line from the beginning of the T wave and move towards the T wave in front. So if you do that, there is a definite T wave inversion. This means that this patient has biphasic T wave. That means it has two phases. Initial T is inverted and the next part of the T is upright. Now let's look at the last set, that is V4, V5, V6. Draw a line from the peak of the T wave and all three T waves are upright. So these are upright T waves and there is no T wave inversion. So now if we combine all these and we want to figure out in STT changes which lead has T wave inversion or which lead has ST depression. Lead AVL has no ST depression but T inversion. Lead V2 has a biphasic T wave and ST depression both, whereas in lead V4, V5 and V6 we have only ST depressions and upright T waves, that means no T wave inversion. So in conclusion, we have T inversion in lead AVL, ST depressions in V4, V5, V6, but both STT changes means both ST depression and T inversion in lead V2. So the take home message here is, whenever you are in doubt about ST depressions, compare ST segment with TP segment, whereas if you have a doubt about T inversions, compare T waves to another inline T waves in the form of the sets which we discussed, especially when you have STT changes. I hope your query is solved and the concept of STT segment is clear. If you have enjoyed the video, please do comment on that. Your suggestions are valuable, like this one, and we could clear a lot of concepts like this. Please do not forget to share the video with your friends and colleagues. If you have not already subscribed to this, please subscribe and click on the bell icon. So whenever the new video is uploaded, you will be notified. And again, if you have any interesting ECGs, please do share with me on weeklyecgexercises@gmail.com. Thank you.